Principles of Government, Federalism. We examined the results of the semester test. The principle of government that appears to be the least understood is the principle of federalism. This video will present federalism so that you can fully understand it. According to the Google AI, federalism refers to a system of government where power is divided between a national government and smaller regional governments, like states, with each level having its own set of responsibilities and authority within a shared territory. Essentially, it's the distribution of power between different tiers of government within a nation, as outlined in the Constitution. In the USA, federalism is clearly stated in Amendments 9 and 10. Amendment 9 states that there are additional rights beyond those outlined in the Bill of Rights. Amendment 10 states that these unnamed rights automatically belong to the states or the people. For example, there is no right to education stated anywhere in the U.S. Constitution or the Federal Bill of Rights. Therefore, the USA, at the federal level, does not have jurisdiction over education. However, each of the 50 states recognizes education as a right. Each of the 50 states administers education in the way that best suits the people of that state. Washington, D.C. has no authority over how that state administers its education. Each of the 50 states further localizes its operations by using local government. Local government consists of municipal governments like cities, towns, villages, county governments, for example, Harris County, where we live in Houston, and special tax districts like school districts, utility districts, flood control districts, and healthcare districts, among many other ones. While all levels of government are important, the average citizen, resident, or visitor will have more interactions with local government than with any other level of government. Local governments will administer things like marriage and divorce proceedings and licenses, driver's licenses, vehicle registrations, utilities, education, of course subject to the rules of that state, local law enforcement, records of births and deaths, and the multitude of day-to-day activities that the average person deals with. Local governments are funded by taxes. In most cases, these are property taxes. Some funding is conducted through fees, like paying a fee to renew your vehicle registration. In some cases, federalism has overlapping tiers of authority. The easiest example is law enforcement. At the federal level, law enforcement would include the FBI and federal marshals. The average person in the USA will probably never interact with the FBI or a federal marshal. The FBI enforces the law that impacts the nations. Your traffic violation is not something that the federal level of law enforcement is going to worry about. At the Texas state level, law enforcement would include the Texas Rangers. You're probably not going to interact with the Texas Rangers because they are dealing with law enforcement that impacts the state. At the local level, law enforcement would include the county sheriff and deputies, precinct constables, and local police departments. These are the entities that would deal with your traffic violation. Your alleged traffic violation. This system of federalism is very effective. It not only divides power, but it also divides responsibility. Imagine how ineffective it would be if we have the highly trained operatives of the FBI dealing with speeding tickets, or having an underfunded precinct constable dealing with a foreign spy and espionage ring. Remember these key takeaways about federalism. Different tiers of authority and responsibility. If authority and responsibility overlap, then the Fed has the higher authority over the state, and the state has a higher authority over the local. All are funded by taxes. Local governments are mostly funded by property taxes and fees. Most of the average person's government interactions will be at the local level. And most records of ownership, marriage, birth, death, etc. are maintained by the local government. Now complete the quiz and demonstrate your understanding of federalism.